Hello once again everyone. It's just been about 10 seconds since I uploaded the other video, which is a bank cleaning video and an example on how to do it yourself. So 2 videos in a day, it's actually happening. If you are interested in that kind of thing, do check it out. I didn't see any other examples of like bank cleaning videos on YouTube or like how to do so. But it's kind of it's an interesting process, and it's like an hour-long thing, so you can skim through it and see the progress or get ideas on how to do it yourself and how to make a really nice aesthetically looking bank. Meanwhile, this was a video that I wanted to put out as well. I've been busy last few days, which is why this is all coming out at the same time. But this is a video on Tombs of a Mascot Raids 3. And what I want to talk about in particular is invocations. More so than... Let me just pull this to the side. I want to talk about invocations right now. Big time. Because I've been asking a few times in the playtesting group for them to essentially give this specific info. And I pushed it really hard because it was really important to talk to people about it and get info out. So I will get into it. What I want to do is bring up a tweet that I put out just to have a look at what I was highlighting and what I want to talk about specifically. Okay, so let's run through TOA, 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 TOA. And what we're going to go down and have a look at is not these requirement stuff, boss stuff. We've seen it. This is like concept art. I guess I can go through some of this. We're not going to go exclusively invocations, but I've been through this stuff before, so I'm not going to linger on it too long. But Aatykon looks good. Human guy. Baba, monkey. Salve amulet dependency. Cannot believe it. Unbelievable. Realistically just unfair from Yagak. How could they? Unless. But wait. But maybe. And then you have got Kefri. Very nice design. Smelly, obviously. Zebek. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful design boss. Lovely boss. But what I really want to get to is actually invocations. So, this is the thing. A lot of people come into stream very commonly now and just say, is Raids 3 going to be the hardest raid? You know, should we be looking out for day one stuff? How hard is it going to be? Is it going to be impossible, or is it going to be really easy? The reality is, Raids 3 is going to be really easy. But, there's the catch. Invocations, all they are, is a mechanism to make the raid more difficult. They are difficulty scaling modifiers. That's all they are. So if we have a look at the example of invocations, and this is the first like bit of major info that we publicly have about invocations. If we scroll down and have a look, we haven't had any of this before. This is all new for people, which is fantastic. So we'll read through it. When you first enter TOA, you get the choice to start out with no invocations. So you are able to put on more when you enter, but I think most players are going to want to try it on just like base difficulty to see what it's like and just go for a completion. But the idea is like you have a menu. This is the menu down here, and you'll be able to put on more invocations as you like. So each invocation you activate will add a certain amount to your raid level, and the raid level is incredibly important. We'll get into this. No invocations, raid level 0. Higher invocation, higher raid level. In other words, your raid level shows at a glance how difficult the raid will be, and higher risk equals higher reward. So this is the idea. Difficulty scaling equals potentially enjoyability scaling, like interesting, how interesting it is to play, but also how difficult it is and how much you get rewarded for. To my knowledge, the invocations greatly increase the chance of rewards, so as many as you can fit on is a good thing. But you got to remember, like the base level of the raid, it's not difficult. We were playtesting and we were doing like 0 invocation runs in like base 80 stats with whatever gear we wanted, and it was very doable. So don't linger on the idea that like a base level and entry level mode difficulty will be hard to complete. We're trying to have a look at the later stuff. That's what's important. I will talk about real quickly some of the rewards, because this is also the first time we've seen teasers of the rewards. So this over here is the Thread of Eldiness. This is what makes the 3 slot room pouch, the standard room pouch, into the 4 slot room pouch. Very strong item, very cool, very nice, good reward. And these 3 jewels here are for the Partisan, which is the upgraded Keris from the quest. So supposedly that'll be useful within the raid. We didn't get to test any of this stuff, but those things come from like any level, and then you get like more of the rewards. So this ring here is Light Bearer. I really like the design, looks good, very strong. The thing on the right to this is Osmondton's Fang. I do not like Osmondton's Fang. I've been pretty vocal about this. I do not like the design. For a stab-based weapon, it is incredibly flimsy from the design as far as I can tell. I don't like it, and I like it even less than it looks right here in game. So just a personal thing, but I'm not a fan. I kind of wish they did more adjustments to Osmondtons than they did to Missouri, but it is what it is. This is like the base template of the ward, the Kyogre shield. This is the shadow, of course, and then this is the pre-updated Missouri. So this is like they'll put it in properly when it's done. And then this thing, we have no idea what it is, and I cannot confirm or deny, but yes, it could be anything. And then this is the invocation board, an example of it. I'm not sure this is the finalized version, it might just be an example, but there are different types of things here. So like, again, I can't like confirm things in this, but what I can do is like just speculate, as you guys are kind of doing. But like this thing here, like the skull with the cross on the top of it, this could be anything to do with like the difficulty of the raid in terms of like how many lives you have, or how many people until you wipe or something. It could be anything to do with that. Modash, like 2 days ago, confirmed there is a wipe mechanic, and it scales based on how much you take into the raid, how much it's going to cost you to get your stuff back. So we know for sure there are wipe mechanics, and I can say this now. And the question is like, how do these affect the wipe mechanics, perhaps? Could be anything. This here, it looks like a clock. Do with that as you will, but there are clearly like different types of these that get harder and harder. So maybe it's a limitation of some sort on the time to complete a room or the raid, or this kind of thing. This like square over the bowl looking thing, honestly, I don't even know what this could be. I have no clue. I can't remember what it is. Again, difficulty scaling thing. And then you have like this here where it's got this exclamation mark, and then it's got this big X thing. I don't know what these things are. The first few are like a bit more obvious than the last few. I think most people have an idea behind it, but this is how it's going to look. And jumping in, this is the really important part. If there's one takeaway from this, this is it. So a raid level of 0 to 149, so 0 to 150, until 150, is an entry mode. This is what everyone will encounter when they first go in if they want to do like 0 invocations. And that's like just the base level raid. Until 149, you don't get shit for it. It's just, it might scale a bit, but you don't get like a big boost or anything. Entry modes are great for less experienced raiders get stuck and start improving. So this is just like, first day stuff, maybe just like get a feel for it. Raid level 150 to 299 is a normal mode raid. So this is like the standard of raid that you'd expect the average show to do, like the standard, just farming stuff, pretty casual. So you gotta remember, here's the thing with it. You got entry mode, normal raid, and then once you go past 300, it becomes an expert raid. So expert raids are clearly going to be the best ones for farming loot. But the question is, are they going to be the most consistently completable? I think so, considering like 300 level is about half of the max invocations. You can get 580 over here. So 580 is like the max, and as far as I'm aware, impossible. It's not going to happen. No one will ever do it, ever. Maybe like 5 years down the road with better gear if there's like some hard bug abuse. But like a standard player trying to do it, it's not happening. So this is great because it allows you to like do more and push further each time. And this is the example of like how it works. So maybe not the best example, but you have like on the left over here, this is your raid level based on the amount of invocations. So if you put more invocations on, they count for more points, and the more points they count towards, and you end up getting more loot for it. So this on the right hand side is the amount of invocations active, and this is the amount of raid level they contribute to. So this is like entry, this is middling, this is like just hitting expert, and this is like max invocations showing you the loot. What it doesn't show you right now is the drop rates of items. Many players have called to say for making it so that like this mode here, normal mode, has no chance of getting the high tiered stuff, which I don't think is fine. I think it's fine to have it there, just be really rare. I think that's fine. And then expert mode plus obviously is like good loot, and then moving up to like crazy mode is like, yeah, please just make it insane. This also could be a direct, sort of like an indirect confirmation that if this is max invocations, 580 level, max level, as they said here, then it could be the fact that there are only 34 invocations. We thought there were going to be a few more, like 50 or so. I can't really remember what it was at playtests. But this could be an indirect confirmation of 34 max invocations. So keep that in mind. But as it currently works out here, the breakdown basically says that everything can be attained at any raid level. As you get past 50, so like a bit of a weird number, it's not really upping the raid level too much. It's just kind of like, it's not hitting normal mode, it's just still regular. You'll then get like Baron, Osmondton's Fang if you see a unique. So this also tells you that these are going to be the more common things, like Baron, Osmondton, Fangs. And then it goes to Masuri, Ward, or Tumican. So these are the three like expensive things. Which is very interesting considering that I personally I thought that the Ward of Elidness, it is Elidness. I thought that one would actually be quite common. And based on this, it's not. Because I thought it would be like the Buckler for Chambers, the Offhand, I thought it would be like the Avernic for TOBE. I thought it would be a common thing, but it doesn't matter either way. It's just interesting to see it there. But more importantly, it does say that any of the items grayed out can be obtained, but really very rare. We're talking like 1 in like 10,000 plus probably for some of these things. So it'll happen. It'll be kind of funny to see the posts on Reddit or Twitter or whatever, but like, don't count on it. It's across the entire, if you average out everyone who's getting these items, it's like, you know, you're getting like 10 GP per raid increase based on how likely it is. It's not relevant. So yeah, basically more invocations is good. So you've heard this all before and you've seen the news post. Why am I talking about this? Why am I milking this out? Well, this is because I am setting up a Raids 3 Discord. And what I want to do is I want to have a similar kind of feel to the Inferno Discord where we're housing records or housing information and resources. So we do raids will always be one of the best places to go when learning and trying to build basic teams. But what they don't really have is this competitive aspect or this housing of records or things, or anything where it goes to sort of a really in-depth sort of community for things. So with Inferno Discord, we have a whole bunch of channels dedicated to helping people out, and it's pretty important, I think, to give this to people when it comes to Raid 3. We Do Raids is also going to be like pretty stuck because they have Raids 1 and Raids 2, and now they have to house Raids 3 as well, and it's just going to be hectic. So what I want to do is to build up a Raids 3 Discord, manage it effectively, and for speedruns, I want to have full video proof, start to finish. It's going to be the first community in the game to have full video requirements to even compete for leaderboards, for those who want to. So it's going to be similar to Inferno speedrunning, but probably even more careful about it, because Raid 3 has a lot of potential. And this potential comes from the idea of having multiple categories to speedrun. So let's have a think about what categories are even there. You have 3 thresholds. You have base level, you have normal mode and expert mode, and then you have like max or as many invocations as possible. But to think about this, there are actually more things you can look at, or more things that players may want to do. So a base level TOA will always be base level TOA. 0 invocations, how fast can you do it? That will be a very standard speedrun, but probably not a very common one because you don't get much loot for it. So if you start adding on loot and getting to level 150, now you have to consider the method in which somebody could go for 150. Because you could have, in this case, you could have 5 invocations, but you could maybe have 4 invocations, but what if they're weighted differently? Or you could have maybe, I mean, obviously you can tell they're weighted differently because 5 is 150, but 14 is 300, so this is how you know. And you could have different combinations of these invocations that could be more preferable to speedrunning. So by default already, we have 4 categories that I think are going to be really interesting for people who want to do a high-level TOA. 0 level, 150, sorry, okay, 0 to 150, but realistically just 0. Then you have 150 to 299, and then 300 plus. Those are the base level of speedruns for the content, which I want to house. But it goes further than that, because what if there are certain invocations, let's say at level 0, that players want to run within that bracket for? So we have to ask the question, which ones are best, but also is it okay to add more? Like, is it okay to do it? Is it okay to run within the category? So basically what I'm saying is you can run within the category of easy mode, normal mode, expert mode, but there could also be a 4th category of preset for speedrunning. So things like, you know, certain mechanics are really not fun to engage with. For example, bloat view, hard mode TOB. No one likes it. It's okay because it's harder, sure, but it's not a really fun mechanic to engage with. And if you're trying to appeal to the speedrunning scene and build up something that is engaging, interesting, and long-term difficult to compete within, we could end up having something that's like a good mix of maybe expert and maybe like 20 invocations on. So not all of them, but like more than expert. And maybe it's like 380 raid level or 400 raid level. And it's just this like, it's this nice level of difficulty combined with interest, but nothing too annoying. And this is the thing where I think there can be a specific category that everyone who is trying to speedrun agrees, this is a really nice set of invocations, let's run this and count this as a standard of some level. And there can be multiple of these, but it's nice to think that that is something that we can try and push for, and it's something that I'd like to set up within the Discord as a category for this standard set of invocations. So within the 3 you can choose your own, and then you can have like one for the one that is most popular or most interesting. And then lastly, the 5th category is, of course, max invocations. Who currently in the game has the best or highest level for invocations? I think what we're going to do is not look at the amount of invocations active, but look at the raid level. So the person who has the highest raid level here is the person who is doing the best, not the most invocations active. That's a really important distinction, and that's going to be playing part into the Discord. So we'll do it this way. We'll have 5 categories. Normal, and like any invocations within easy, normal, and expert. A leaderboard for the maximum invocations currently completable. And then we'll have a standard speed run, maybe, of a specific set of invocations that make it difficult enough but interesting enough that people want to run. So a standardized run where players have to compete within those limitations. And then lastly, while I can't tell you right now what the good scales are for the raid, I think realistically there will be not all. So the raid scales from 1 to 8 man. 1 is going to be popular because solo is always popular. I don't think 8 man will be crazy popular, but it will probably be done within the speedrun team because everyone likes to do like the max amount. So it's very likely we'll see solo and 8 man. And I think there'll be another couple of things that will be commonly done as scales. Again, I can't say, but the idea is that we'll have 5 categories for speedrunning, and then we'll have another 4 or 5 categories for scales. And that'll make up, let's say, 20 odd categories, which are interesting to speedrun in, and which the Discord will house. So, sorry, I've been going off this for ages, but that's the point of the Discord, is to like go into that, house the resources, and have these 20 odd categories. It's a lot of categories. There's a lot of work to go through. I have a team of about 8 people right now who are willing to help set up the Discord, put out resources, and actually give guides, good strategy advice, good gear advice, and really work with everyone to make it work. So the base for the Discord is there. The format is now available to show people that these are the categories that people can run, and it will be something that players can do. So now that this is a thing, I'm going to open up the Discord. It's going to start being a thing. And what I want to do is have players talking about speculative ideas on speedrunning and try and build the community while at the same time maintaining it as a place to learn and even just work on the base stuff. What it's not going to be is a competitor to We Do Raids in the sense of matchmaking, unless We Do Raids is not doing a good job. If players are saying We Do Raids is just awful or whatever it may be, or they want a high-tiered place, we might house some, but it is not currently the objective. So that's what it is. These raid levels are super important. Please do look into it. Consider if you're a high tier community member or you're interested in this kind of speed stuff, come into the Discord, talk to us about what you think you would like to run. And especially when the content actually drops, these are the things we need input on to try and build a standardized run for everyone so that there is a bit more of an even playing field. And of course, the other categories will remain open. Still interesting to like mix the invocations and see what you can come up with as like a true best time. But standardized, very important. 5 different categories. Yeah. And again, all of this will be done in full video proof. At this stage in the game, there's no point trying to ask for gifts and stuff. Full run or nothing. That's it. First time in the community, we actually get to have full proof for stuff. So that's basically it. So the link to Discord will be down in the description. First thing there. I'm going to try and build it up over the next few days, including on stream. I want to get some talking in there. I'm interested in myself in this. Spent a lot of time now talking about Raids 3 and trying to make it work well. But I will be participating in as many of these categories as I can because it's new content. I want to push it out there. It's not like Inferno where something like a no pillar run is considered pointless and not interesting for most people. It's actually something where we can try and force it into the community and make it a thing as long as there's interest and as long as people are talking about it, which is why I'm putting this out there. So again, link in the description. If you're interested in it, come on by. We've got a great little admin team set up right now. I'm going to try and make it a real nice place. Better than Inferno Discord, maybe. We'll try and make it happen. But a bit more of an all-rounder community and, again, super catered to just anybody who wants to learn. So, see you there, guys.